good day, and welcome to the HEARTcare Podcast and Learn series. This coached podcast will not only teach you important concepts related to your well-being as a university student, it will also prompt you to be physically active and mentally engaged. My name is Dr. Astrid Kendrick, and I've been studying compassion, fatigue, and burnout in education since early 2020. This podcast series is one of the outcomes of my research program, as participants have asked for different ways to feel better at their own pace and in their own space. Before we get started, choose a walking path that is about 2 to 3 kilometers in length. Keep an eye out for tripping hazards and make sure you are dressed for the weather. As my Norwegian mother used to say, "Dette finnes ikke barling vær, bare darling klar." There isn't bad weather, only bad clothing. If you're not going outside today, no problem. Jump on your stationary bike, treadmill, elliptical trainer, start your laundry. Choose an activity that will keep you busy. If you have a tracking device, press start and let's get going.
This episode will introduce you to compassion and one mental health hazard, compassion fatigue, also known as secondary traumatic stress. We'll talk about its symptoms and what you can start to do to feel better. But before we talk about the heavy stuff, I want you to think about why you began your current university program. What do you enjoy about being a student? Some examples might include taking classes you care about, laughing with friends over lunch, volunteering, working on a passion project, joining a study group or campus club, cooking for your roommate, or simply enjoying a walk on campus. As you listen to this first song, reflect on these questions. What is the best part of being a student right now? What brings you joy, meaning, or connection?
If your response is like many university students, you may have thought about connecting with others or learning about something interesting. You might be looking forward to making a positive difference for and with other people. Compassion is the noticing, feeling, and acting to relieve the suffering of others. The pleasure felt from providing care for others is known as compassion satisfaction, which can be sustaining and help us stay committed to carrying out compassionate acts. But sometimes caring for others can start to feel heavy, especially when life is already very full. Being a student includes stressors such as balancing long commutes, part or full-time work, financial or scholarship pressures, group projects and labs, cultural or family responsibilities, caring for siblings, relatives, or friends, and navigating loneliness or high community expectations. Providing emotional support might look like listening to a friend who is overwhelmed, helping a roommate manage stress, supporting a partner through difficult moments, or uplifting someone through anxiety, grief, or heartbreak. Seeing your compassion in action can lead to compassion satisfaction, the joy of providing care to others. As you continue to walk, think about these questions. Have you supported a friend or loved one during a difficult time? How did it leave you feeling? Charles Figley, Paul Valant, and Beth Hudnam-Stamm, noted researchers in the field of secondary traumatic stress, differentiated between crisis and trauma work. Crisis work is provided when you lead your friends or family through a traumatic event, and trauma work is provided when you listen to or process a traumatic event experienced by someone else. Figley called the emotional response to doing this work secondary or vicarious traumatization. As a student, you probably have not provided true crisis or trauma work, and it is largely this work of police officers, paramedics, teachers, or other frontline workers. But you may have been a sympathetic ear for a friend in crisis.
Sometimes you might feel obliged to listen and help because you are the dependable one, the good listener, the oldest sibling, or simply because you care deeply about the other person. After supporting a friend or family member, you may notice afterward that you feel mentally or physically drained, or, if it happens a lot, emotionally exhausted. As you continue your walk or workout, think about this. Has supporting someone else ever left you feeling drained, distracted, or overwhelmed? Just notice or acknowledge your feelings. Set aside any impulse to reassess, judge, or criticize yourself, your response, or the situation.
Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Talk for hours and never slept. Two silhouettes on the concrete steps. We watched the sun as it slowly crept from the horizon to the place we met. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Best thing that I'll ever know.
The symptoms of compassion fatigue can include feeling hopeless, empty or numb, avoiding people or situations that feel emotionally draining, feeling mentally or physically exhausted, having difficulty focusing on coursework or conversations, replaying situations or conversations repeatedly, or feeling disconnected from the things you normally enjoy. These feelings don't mean you are weak or incapable. They mean you've been carrying a lot, perhaps quietly. Even good coping strategies can feel stretched thin when you're balancing academics, new day-to-day responsibilities, and caring for others. Caring for others is a meaningful part of every relationship, but a key part of compassion is also showing compassion for yourself. When you rest, seek support, do activities you enjoy, you're better able to act compassionately towards others. It's not selfish. It's how care lasts and relationships thrive. Learning to care for yourself is an important part of caring for others. Many of us try to be everything for the people we love. The listener, the problem solver, the late night phone call. But real compassion includes boundaries, noticing the load you can carry and recognizing when it's time to ask for help. So when we talk about self-care and self-compassion, don't focus on strategies for taking care of yourself. Rather, think of self-care as a mindset, prompting you to create energy and time for yourself, just as you may do for others.
Being compassionate doesn't mean being available for everyone at all times. Use strategies that are personally sustainable, such as pacing your commitments, building routines to rest and recover your energy, or creating firm boundaries with friends so you can show up as your best self. You can protect your learning by silencing notifications during class and turning off your device after 10 p.m. to prioritize rest. Further prioritize your academic success by blocking off one afternoon a week to study somewhere quiet, or to address your loneliness by spending some time with people who make you feel safe and supported and just be with you. Tiny mental habits like checking your energy and time before saying yes can help you honor both your needs and your relationships. When you manage your time, energy, and attention from a perspective of self-care and self-compassion, you can be present for others in ways that feels generous rather than draining. During this next song, think about what you already do to manage your time and attention. What works for you to rest and recover during stressful periods?
Who do you think of as a personal support? You may think of a family member, a friend, or a spiritual advisor. In my own life, my biggest supporters are my sisters, my spouse, and my son. I try to spend some time with them every day, in person or via text message, because they help me feel loved.
It can be a challenge to determine if your effort and preparation for your courses is sufficient, but it can be easy to get pulled into gossip and other distractions too. Finding colleagues who can make good sounding boards regarding the challenges and expectations of university life can be invaluable. Schoolmates who can engage in constructive relationships, whether sharing advice on how to be more productive, providing some levity from time to time, asking for your insights, or acknowledging your contributions, can make the school experience more enjoyable and successful. Who are your university supports? At University of Calgary, support can come from many places, some formal, some informal. You might think of a trusted prof or a TA, a student club leader, or even a peer whose presence helps you feel grounded. You may even want to connect with the Student Wellness Services Office, located on the third floor of MacEwan Student Center. They offer same-day, single-session counseling, mental health appointments, health services, and wellness programs. You don't need a diagnosis or a particular reason to reach out. Sometimes, talking through what's on your mind is enough. There are also peer-based options. Peer listeners and student support teams offer confidential conversation in a student-to-student environment, which some people find more approachable when they're unsure about counseling.
Not at the University of Calgary? No problem. Most university, colleges, and polytechnics offer similar supports and resources as the ones Pat just described. After you finish your walk, make a point of seeking out or identifying the supports offered by your institution. If you feel pressure to always be the strong one, remember, seeking support is a strength. It helps us care for ourselves and often helps us care for others more effectively in the long run. Sometimes someone you care about may be struggling in ways that is bigger than you can handle. Gently, but firmly, encourage them to reach out to others too. Supporting someone experiencing a real crisis is the job of their full support network. Let them know that you care deeply and brainstorm with them their own personal and professional support network. Then work with them to reach out to others for help. Redirecting someone to additional supports and resources is setting compassionate boundaries. You are widening their circle of care and protecting your well-being at the same time. As you continue walking, stretching, or folding your laundry, visualize all the people who can support you if you need a helping hand.
Compassion stress and compassion fatigue are known psychological hazards, and there are available treatments. Individuals do not have to suffer in silence. Consider the advice of these folks who, when asked about their stress management, suggested the following.
I'm a fourth-year health sciences student, and something that I like to do to relieve stress is to go out and get a good meal with a friend. I think it can be a very healing experience and help center you to then take on the rest of your life.
Personally, when I'm thinking about how to deal with stress in uni, I think about a work-life balance where you're balancing your work, but you're still also making time for your friends. I think that's really important.
One thing I do to manage my stress as a university student is to remind myself of realistic expectations. Your best is not going to look the same every day, and giving yourself that grace consistently will support you in the long run.
If you're worried about your mental and emotional health, activate your personal or university support network when you finish this podcast. Reach out to a trusted friend or make an appointment to meet with a counselor on campus. At this time, you should be making your way back to your home base. Try moving a little bit faster. By getting your heart rate up, you will feel more benefits of your chosen activity. I'm going to lift my legs higher and pump my arms a bit to get some cardiovascular benefits. Look around you and try to pick out as many birds as you can. Let's go! Now you can identify the symptoms of compassion fatigue and how supporting others can contribute to it, as well as one important step towards rest and recovery, identifying and connecting with personal and campus supports. On the next podcast, we'll be discussing a second psychological hazard known as burnout. Until that time, visit the University of Calgary's Community Mental Health Strategy page at www.ucalgary.ca/mental health for more information and resources. A big thank you to the contributors to this podcast, Pat Hanlon, Muskan Pamari, and Zach DeMillo.